What's the deal, y'all? What's the deal, y'all? What's the deal, y'all? We're Trap News Trap News Network. Back in the same, like cook cracking the same here at 10 and Trap News Network. Second news you can use. Good knowledge, you're not finna get nobody's college, big dog. Hit us with a like, with a comment, with a good subscribe. Everything we got going on here at 10 and Trap News Network. It's that news you can use. Good knowledge, you're not finna get in nobody's college, big dog. Hit us with a like, with a comment, with a good subscribe. Everything we got going on here at 10 and Trap News Network. It's early in the morning, man. My girl Henny is up giving us some news we can use, some good knowledge. You ain't finna get nobody's college. We finna get in this good content, finna get in this good news we can use. Let's jump into this good content. Let's jump into this good content. Let's jump into this good content, man. Make sure you hit that like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you get into this, man. Henny will be go ahead and giving us some news we can use, some knowledge. You ain't finna get nobody's college. Get into it. Let's go.
Finally, the final coup de grace, the cherry on top. Everybody has been looking for the court documents for WACK100 and Kimberly Jones, because we've known all this time that R&B was a mistress. Even though he was out here talking about, this is my wife, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I was telling you, along with other people, there was no way in hell that they were married, and that's not his wife. That was a mistress, because he was still married to Kim. And he kept trying to say that that was not true, and he kept coming for everybody. Well, baby, I got the work. Kimberly Ross, because she no longer wants to be known as Jones, has officially filed for divorce from Cash McElroy Jones. Did I know? Didn't I come back? I came back with a...
She finna get everything, because this man has a public infidelity. He's done.
Y'all gotta give it to me. Y'all gotta give it to me. I came back booming in this motherfucker. Okay, kicking the door, waving the fofo.
All you heard was Henny, don't hit me no more.
All you heard was Henny, don't pull him no more. Now, first and foremost, let's get into let's build the stories the way that we build the stories over here. First of all, I ain't got my glasses, but I can still see. So wait, Soldier told Blue to claim his son, which he should, but he wasn't claiming his either. Well, this child is an infant child. And I'm just like, I can't answer.
We don't want to go on Soldier Boy. We want to start about WACK.
Hold on. Do I have it? If it's... Where is it? This has got to be it. Petition. Well, let's just say it's that, and let's see if it's that. That is it. All right. Let me get this. You said be messy, Henny. I'm being messy. We finna be all the way. We finna get messy all the way. All right. So boom. Hold on. I need my watermark. Cause yeah. Hold on. Do I have my watermark? I do. It's an old watermark, but it's still a watermark nonetheless. It'll work. Okay.
It'll work, Henny.
That will work. So this is Soldier Boy's first baby mama, Jackie.
So we want to pass Soldier Boy and get to WACK. Hold on. Now, this has nothing to do with WACK and his wife, but this is just a quick tidbit about Blueface and how he's mismanaging Blueface's funds.
Incident resulted in him getting that big lien for about $14-15 million against his home, because the nightclub sued him and won. And you can't say that he didn't know that these things were happening, because he was locked up, because they were serving him at the prison. Remember, I showed y'all the address. They were sending it to him in prison. So he was getting notification of these things. And my question is, what is your manager doing? You don't have a financial advisor. Your manager ain't doing what he's supposed to do. You ain't got no lawyer on deck to handle none of these court cases. We saw that the lawyer withdrew. Like, the lawyer didn't get paid. The lawyer left. So it's like, why are we still dealing with WACK?
So Blueface has all this going on, and WACK got this man's lawyer withdrawn from the case for unpaid funds, bar none, hell yes.
And yes, Blueface is responsible for the things that he does, but he's been in Click City, and as a manager, you've been so worried about where Krishan is going and where her punana is at. Like, you're worrying about everything that's going on between Krishan's legs and in her pocket, that you're not paying attention to your client. I mean, Henny Glass is in the chat if I'm telling the truth. If I'm lying, put a 2 in the chat. But I'm just saying, at some point, doesn't he hold some type of obligation to his client to make sure that this type
For sure, make some sort of obligation to make sure this type of shit don't happen.
of stuff doesn't happen? Look at what happened with the game. Speaking of, when we switch over to Twitter, I got some updates on the game for y'all as well. And I also have an update on some other stuff for y'all. So Jacqueline is definitely going after all of this stuff. It's open. Now, after all this time, after months and months and months searching and digging,
Henny, I love you, but I don't know if you want to be in the... Well, you don't care about being in the camera. Let's go ahead.
And hunting, we finally have divorce filings from Kimberly L. Jones against Cash McElroy Jones. Dun, dun, dun. And this filing was made on September 12th of 2025 in the Superior Court for the state of California in the county of Los Angeles, okay? And it says, please take notice. All right, they didn't fill all of that out. But this motion is made on the grounds that material circumstances have changed since the case was suspended in 2016. Now, remember,
She's been trying to divorce this nigga for 10 years. 10 years, 10 years, 10 years. Barnacles.
He had divorce papers back in 2016. And in those court documents, let me go pull them up for you.
Is that what she's talking about, how he beat on her?
In those court documents, yeah. Sorry, because I had to pull these up and I just wanted to make sure that this was the right file, and it is, and I love it when a plan comes together. All right, so if y'all remember, back in those filings, Kim had restraining orders against WACK.
Yep, restraining orders because he was whooping on her and all kind of stuff.
Restraining orders for what? Restraining orders for domestic violence. And they were already supposed to be filing.
Whoa. Let's run this back. Let's run this back. Let's run this back. Let's run this back. Hold on. Here, let me give it to y'all without all my yapping. Go ahead, Henny.
Have divorce filings from Kimberly L. Jones against Cash McElroy Jones. Dun, dun, dun. And this filing was made on September 12th of 2025 in the Superior Court for the state of California in the county of Los Angeles, okay? And it says, please take notice. All right, they didn't fill all of that out. But this motion is made on the grounds that material circumstances have changed since the case was suspended in 2016. Now, remember, they had divorce papers back in 2016. And in those court documents, let me go pull them up for you. In those court documents, yeah. Sorry, because I had to pull these up and I just wanted to make sure that this was the right file, and it is, and I love it when a plan comes together. All right, so if y'all remember, back in those filings, Kim had restraining orders against WACK. Restraining orders for what? Restraining orders for domestic violence. And they were already supposed to be filing for a divorce, but something happened and Kim pulled out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let me share it with y'all. Here we go. All right, so this is where we at right now. All right, so these are the original filings, okay? And this says right here in clear as day, plain English, restraining order, domestic violence. Dun, dun, dun. The matter was called for a hearing, but if you remember, it concluded because neither party showed up. So now let's go to this document, all right? The matter was called for an appearance. Neither one of them was showing up to court. And this was back in 2016. So Kim is bringing all of this back up into play, right? All right. So it says the matter is called for a hearing. Respondent failed to appear for mediation. Based on information provided to the court, a settlement was already put into order, okay? The court orders as follows: temporary, without prejudice. Petitioner granted sole legal and sole physical custody of children Cash Jones, whose date of birth was in 1994, Devin Jones, whose date of birth was 2004. Responded to have the right of reasonable visitation second and fourth weekends from Friday 5 p.m. to Sunday 6 p.m. As to child support and spousal support, the court orders guideline support based on visitation time listed and income noted as petitioner's gross income of $4,800 and the respondent's gross income, which is WAC's income, of $11,560. The petitioner referred to the court's facilitator to run Disomaster, okay? Child support and spousal support to be paid on the 1st and the 15th. So, back in 2016, there was an order that was put into place for child support and for spousal support, right? Spousal support. But then things started happening where Kim and WAC both did not show up for court. And so this matter was left twisted and dangling in the wind. Well, it is no longer twisted and dangling in the wind because, as you can see, we are reading it right now. So back to what we were saying here, as she said, circumstances have changed since the case was suspended in 2016, requiring active court supervision. All right, the original.
So it says requesting active court supervision, meaning that y'all not being able to get it together. There's going to be a lot of things going on, and it's going to get tricky. When it comes to the restraining order, you're going to know if he hit her or not based off where the kids go. Use myself as an example, since everybody loves to use my home life as the best example. I have full custody of all my kids. So as we continue to go into this custody battle that I'm into with my child's mom, a big part of the reason why I have full custody of all my kids is because she lied on a restraining order. There's no way that the judge will be able to allow you to have full custody of all the children and have anything going on with a restraining order and all that kind of stuff. You feel me? So when it comes to that, that's how that typically works. Now, if the mom is, if it's a 50-50 split, he probably didn't put his hands on her. If the mom gets full sole custody, they proved in court that you put your hands on her. If the man gets full sole custody, it means that the mom lied. So let's see what's going on here.
The petition filed in 2012 is now 13 years old and no longer accurately reflects the parties' circumstances. All minor children have reached majority, eliminating child custody and support issues. Substantial community property requires proper adjudication and management, meaning that substantial community property requires to be properly divided. Dun, dun, dun. The interest of justice requires restoration of the case to active status for proper resolution of community properties. Bam, 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 which means that they still hold properties together. Now, that means that all this time he been out here, R&B, that's my wife. That's the queen. That's my wife. That's the queen. She ain't the wife. She could be his queen, but she is the mistress and has been all this time. Now it is on paper. There is paperwork to back up these statements that we've been saying. Now let's get into the procedural background. The original filing, this dissolution
on paper mistress is absolutely barnacles.
Proceeding was filed on June 8th of 2012. 2012. The case was suspended on January 5th of 2016 and remains in suspended status. On June 11th, 2025, petitioner attempted to dismiss the petition with exception to refile. On July 15th of 2025, the request for dismissal was denied. court order case to remain in suspension, special status, with existing orders in place. So she tried to get the petition dismissed, but the courts denied it and left everything as it is, meaning they're still married, she's still getting spousal support, and I guess there was still child support that was going on because all of those motions are still active.
So that explains why this nigga don't got no chili. You feel me? None. That explains why this nigga ain't got no chili at all, because she been bleeding this nigga.
Changed circumstances now require restoration to active status for proper case resolution. Okay? And then it gets into the authorities to set aside. All right? In a proceeding, she's going underneath continuing jurisdiction over community properties. So it says, in a proceeding for dissolution of marriage, for nullity of marriage, or for legal separation of the parties, the court has continued jurisdiction to award community estate assets or community estate liabilities to the parties that have not been previously adjudicated by a judge in the proceeding. Okay, court has jurisdiction jurisdiction to inquire into and make order concerning the settlement of the property rights of the parties. They still have community property together to this day. See, this is what being the wife entails. It means that you are entitled to division of properties, you are entitled to benefits, you are entitled to all types of stuff that I'm just saying you can't get.
All the kind of stuff that R&B not getting.
When you can't get none of this, okay? And if the rumors be true that there is an order for repossession on body parts that WACK paid for, which to me is super petty. But if this be true that there is an order for repossession of said body parts, girl, run. That's all I got to say. Run. Because ain't no way. It ain't no way. Hold on one second, y'all. I'm trying to check something real quick. Hold on. Okay. All right. So now she's also saying that, the children, they're now of age, so they no longer basically need any of the visitation orders. So she's saying all minor children referenced in the original petition have now reached the age of majority. So they're no longer minors, okay? Child custody, visitation, and support provisions are no longer applicable. It eliminates sufficient complexity and focuses...
It wouldn't make sense to still be going for child support. Them kids grown.
And focuses case on property division. So now there's no longer any need for those child support. There's no longer any need for visitations. And she just wants to focus on division of the properties. But do you know what this all means? This means that all this time, from the time that the order was in place, from 2016, Kimberly has been receiving spousal support and child support from Cash McElroy Jones. Dun, dun, dun.
And that really explains why he's in that little bitty apartment with R&B.
Okay. Substantial community property assets identified requiring court supervision. This is what they have. They have substantial community properties. Vintage automobile collection with significant value needs proper valuation and management. Real estate property interests require updated legal description and current valuations. Financial circumstances have materially changed over years of suspension. Okay? Original petition filed over 13 years ago no longer reflects current circumstances. Updated financial disclosures and property schedules are required. Proper adjudication cannot occur while the case remains suspended. Okay, then she goes into having a due process. The Fourth Amendment guarantees that no person shall be deprived property without due process of law. Petitioner has vested community property interests that cannot be extinguished without proper judicial proceedings. While the case remains suspended, petitioner cannot obtain court orders necessary to protect, preserve, and adjudicate her community interests. Is WACK living in one of those homes? Or is he trying to be spiteful and take one of them homes from her? Okay? This case has a 13
Nah, that nigga's living in R&B's house.
year procedural history. 13-year procedural history. Okay? Established case number and existing order that provides foundation for efficient resolution. New filing would require new filing fees, service costs, and restart of all procedural deadlines. Further, current case file contains valuable procedural history and prior orders that would be lost in dismissal. So, she's saying, look, just reopen this case. Let's get it going. All right. Community property, particularly vintage automobiles, may require ongoing maintenance, insurance, and protection that need court supervision. Active case status may be necessary to deal with creditors, insurance companies, and other third parties affecting community property. Property values change over time. Active case allows for updated valuations and proper accounting. Finally, active case status enables formal discovery procedures to identify and value all community properties. So she's like, listen, these classic cars that we have, yeah, they need to be reevaluated. All right. All right. Community properties, Dr. Kettle, we talked about that. All right. The court may, in furtherance of justice and on any terms as be proper, allow a party to amend any pleading. The court has discretion to allow amendment at any stage of the proceeding. Policy strongly favors amendment. California courts liberally grant leave to amend when justice requires. Okay, preference to decision on merits. The court prefers to decide cases on substantive merits rather than procedural technicalities. Now, when it gets down to the children, all minor children referred to in the original petition have reached age of majority. I think we read this already. And that support is no longer required. Family dynamics and household composition materially changed. Elimination of child-related issues simplifies the case to focus on property division. Okay, and that's what she's looking for. Okay.
So basically, them kids is grown. We ain't even tripping on you and the kids no more. The kids is grown. Let's figure out what we finna do with all this stuff and potentially R&B's body. Getting a repo on R&B's body is crazy.
Real estate and personal property values have changed significantly over the past 13 plus years. Complete community property schedules requires updating with information. Financial obligations and community debts have materially changed since 2012. Income changes. Both parties' financial circumstances evolved over 13 plus years. Assets, appreciation and depreciation. Significant changes in asset values require updates. Financial responsibilities and debts incurred since the original filing. Financial circumstances require complete and updating for proper adjudication. She wants them to go and basically I don't even know why my mic muted. What the hell? Why is my mic not registering? Hold on 1 second, y'all. Okay. I think I'm back. All right, so basically, she wants the courts to set aside the suspension that was entered on January 5th of 2016, right? And she wants them to restore the matter to active calendar status to receive permission to file a First Amendment petition for dissolution of the marriage. She wants it done. She wants it dissolved. All right, now, from what we've read, the case began on June 18th of 2012. It was suspended in 2016, which we have the paperwork for that. And Kim tried to dismiss and refile in June of this year, but the court denied that. And on July 15th, she was they were ordering it to stay suspended with the existing orders in place, and she's fighting against that. Basically, she's saying that the circumstances have changed because the children are now grown and that there's significant community property assets that include real estate, right? And we hear about vintage automobiles, and financial circumstances of her and WACK have changed, which I would hope that they would change from 2012 to now. She also went on to basically say that because the original petition is over 13 years old, she's seeking it to be updated because she wants property schedules and valuations put into place of what everything is in this current state. She wants the income and the debts disclosed for both parties. She wants to eliminate all of the outdated child stuff so that they could just focus on separating the property and just make this simple. Okay. They were married. So for those of y'all who do not know, Kim and WACK were married on June 30th of 2000, and they separated on May 30th of 2012. Okay. How do you know that?
The 30th is a hard day for them.
Because it's in the paperwork. It's in the paperwork. And I'm going to read this to y'all. All right. Kimberly L. Jones declares, I am familiar with the fact of this case, and if called as a witness, I could and would testify completely thereto. I was married to respondent on June 30th of 2000. We separated on May 30th of 2012, and this dissolution proceeding was filed on June 18th of 2012. The case was suspended on January 5th of 2016. On June 11th of 2025, I attempted to dismiss the case with the exception of refiling for dissolution. On July 15, 2025, the court denied my request for dismissal, and the court ordered that the case was to remain in suspended status while existing orders remain in place. Therefore, in order to proceed with the divorce, I am asking the courts to restore this case to active status rather than seeking dismissal. I am also asking the courts for leave to amend the petition, as there has been numerous changes since the filing of the initial petition. Both of the children referenced in the original petition have now reached the age of maturity. Therefore, no longer any issues regarding child custody, visitation, or support. During our marriage, we acquired substantial community property, including real estate and valuable personal property. We own a family townhome at where I currently reside. We also own real property at a Quartz Hill, Quartz Hill, California, where respondent resides, and we own property in New Jersey that is currently in escrow, and the funds anticipated to be received from the sale are community property funds. We acquired a valuable collection of vintage automobiles during the marriage, including vehicles with individual values exceeding $100,000. The total value of our community property assets has changed significantly since 2012. Pause. Did you hear what she said? She lives in the townhome, and he lives in Quartz Hills, California, in their home out there. Our community property requires proper valuation and adjudication. We need court supervision to ensure proper management and division of assets. The case cannot be properly resolved while in suspended status. Our case would benefit from active case management to reach final resolution. Both my income and WACK's income and debt obligations have changed materially since the original petition was filed. The value of our real estate and personal property have changed significantly. The original petition was filed over 13 years ago and no longer accurately reflects our current circumstances. The petition requests child support and support orders that are no longer relevant, and the property schedule and financial information is now outdated and incomplete. An amended petition is necessary to provide the court with accurate and current information. I am acting in good faith to restore this case to proper resolution. The requested relief will benefit both parties by allowing final adjudication of our community property rights. I am prepared to proceed with discovery, property valuations, and other necessary steps. I declare under penalty of perjury under the laws of the state of California that the foregoing is true and correct. Signed, September 11th, 2025, Kimberly L. Jones.
Happy birthday to Rich Trapper. September 11th. Ha.
Kim said, I had enough of this shit and I want out. Activate this case and give me free. Give me free. She no longer wants to be tied down to Three Finger Dewey Shooter and all his scandals, especially being that I'm hearing that allegedly he was recently caught sending off kitty corn. Don't nobody want nobody dealing in kitty corn.
Yeah, Henny, you saw that. You saw that. I'm going to hit you, Henny. I'm going to hit you.
So now we're going to move on to this case, right? This is the paperwork filing. She is requesting a dissolution of the marriage, okay? She wants it amended. And we've read all of this, okay? We've read all of this. This is what we was reading in the other paperwork. But when it gets over here, now I want y'all to look at this. Statistical facts, right? It says on this paper that the date of marriage was June 30th of 2000, right? But it also gives us a separate, when did y'all separate? Because she gave us a whole different separation date, didn't she? In the other filing. Because in this one, it says that the separation date was in 2024. All right, okay. Now, spousal or domestic partner support. She's seeking spousal support. She wants spousal support. She wants a complete inventory of the homes and the cars. And what do you think all of that means? Child, that means Kimberly says, I want it all, okay? Kim said, I want all of it. I want the properties. I want the spousal support. I want the cars. She's coming for the gusto. She's not playing with WACK. And I don't blame her, because he's been out here embarrassing the hell out of that girl up here talking about this other woman is his wife, and we know that that's his mistress. So now what did we learn today? We have actually learned that Kim and WACK, they were married in 2000. But in 2012, they separated. But I think their official separation happened in 2024, which is 2 years ago. And if you think about it, that's about accurate, because
that's about the time when he stopped hiding R&B.
Then that's when he started popping out with R&B. Am I correct? I could be a little off with the timeline, but she done had enough. She said, look here, I wanted to dismiss the case as long as I could redo the case. The judge said, nah, we gonna keep everything as it is. She said negative. If we gonna keep this case as it is, I want to reactivate it, and I need it updated, and I want all the property divided, and I want out. I want out. But what's crazy to me is all of this time, you've been committing adultery. Let me tell you something. Somebody is married, and I don't care how long they've been separated. They have not been divorced. They are still married. That is adultery. So I guess the next move is on the adulterer. What you gonna do, sir? And you know I'm gonna be all up in it. Yeah, we're finna watch this. But for everybody that has been wondering what has been going on with Kim and WACK, and let me just say this. WACK and Kim were married all of that time. Now, I don't know how this goes with spouses and all of that stuff. But one would think that once they are divorced, all of that not being able to talk shit goes off the table. Mods, drop the link for the...
Ooh, she do know a lot about this nigga's cases and all this flammery and skullduggery and larceny. That's gonna get crazy over there.
Which, because we about to be up out of here so we could talk. That's gonna be your hot henny for this spill, this spiked coffee in the morning. I hope that...
All right, man, we up out of here to the next one. Henny came through early in the morning with the flu flammery. We up out of here, man. Red dots to the left. Y'all know the rest. Free Avenue Angels, please free. We go.
How many shots to the center of a freak, nigga? 3 in his ass, lick his stomach, smell his pinky, nigga. They throwing shots, time to see if them pussy niggas can take it. The nigga WACK is a snitch and the Jala niggas are rapists. See, Lush was on to something, tried to act like it was nothing. Said you ain't know that freaky ass taker you was frontin'. Munchie ain't fucking with you and Spider-Loc ain't gon' save you. If you want it, you gon' take it. Stop the freaky ass behaviors. Let's get straight to the point, see, we ain't gotta wait for later. Nigga with your last name kidnapped that girl before he raped her. Said the moms of gang members don't deserve no piece of prayers. When General butt naked, the kid Tesher is your savior. You ain't gotta stall me out, cause I ain't asking for no favors. Get it cracking right now, we ain't gotta wait for later. Walked into your own building, heard my voice, and then you ducked away. Was humble like a bitch, cause you a hoe, stay in your fucking place. That nigga WACK is slut and pathetic, Flacco's a fucking lame. WACK ain't come outside because he hiding from his fucking gang. Talking like you tough when niggas spitting in your fucking face. T-Row didn't quit, we wouldn't even know your fucking name. WACK in front of Adam, but Adam is how he do you. See, Flacco lied on me and then WACK told me to sue you. Treated WACK like a bitch, you should've seen it, it was beautiful. Now every single week, that nigga Jala on my pupil. Is it Fred or is it Frederick? Is it Dave or is it David? All thighs on me. Flock of belly, now you famous. Type of creep nigga is you. How are you and Dave related? Nigga, no means no. You should've told him not to take it. I'm really in the field, you niggas stuck inside the matrix. From BET to the Knicks, down in Compton where your face is. That nigga real Jala got some freaky ass cases. Tryna fake fight Lush cause Adam wanted you to face. You wanna be like academics, making videos like point and shoot. You and Dave the same ass lane. We know the fucking truth. Brick ain't say this shit is a play, cause he don't fuck with you. He not gon' get involved when them real shooters come for you. If you grew up in the land, them thirsties, they would've humbled you. Grew up with them lions, I promise they would've hunted you. I get disrespectful, the next time I'ma punish you. You dirty fat bitch, I swear to God I see the bum in you. Niggas say they shooters till it's time to bring them guns out. Loose can't read and WACK lost his wife to Clubhouse. Treat WACK like a bitch, mark him out before he snitch again. Flacco, when I see you, I'ma show you the type of bitch you is. Niggas say they see me, they pullin' blick out. I promise that this Glock can make you sit down. Drum with a cooler, one for you, one for your brother. Wrap the string around the mop, sound like your dumb ass when you stutter. Swear to God, nigga.
Wait, bro, wait. Again, wait though. Just right, Joe, right? Wait though, right? I do want to